Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Fan Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
Madness Entertainment Group presents the Madness Comic Network with original programming and additional comic-related content.
Hey, we want to shout out to our sponsors, Daytona Beach Comic Con. If you are a fan of comic books, if you're a fan of comic book conventions, and if you like meeting comic book creators and getting comics and comic-related stuff, then you need to make your plans to attend Daytona Beach Comic Con. This year's show is September 9th and 10th. Silverline will be there, so you should make your plans to be there too. We'll see you there. If you like comics and find yourself in the Orlando, Florida area, doesn't everyone come to Orlando at some point in time to see the House of Mouse? But when you're here, you need to make it a point to visit Coliseum of Comics, especially the one on East Colonial Drive. They carry Silverline comics, even a limited edition Coliseum of Comics version of our comics. So, when you go, be sure to ask for Silverline Comics and tell them we sent you. OCD stands for Orlando Collector Deviants. OCD, Steve and Trish, they're a family of geeks who promote geek things, particularly those around the Orlando, Florida area. They're big supporters of Silverline, and we think you should be supporters of theirs too. Go give them some love. If you are an independent comic book maker and you need to get your independent comics made, you need to look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our books, and they do a bang-up job. They're not only trusted by Silverline, but many, many independent comic book makers. Head on over to kablam.com and see for yourself just how easy it is to have your comic printed by them. And tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Kilber, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham. Join us each Wednesday nights as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
Well, hello and good evening, good day, wherever you may be in the world. Welcome to Wednesday Wham with Silverline Comics. We are here. I am Martin Martonen. I am the colorist on the book called Wolf Hunter, and we are here with the venerable Rob Davis.
Hello, everyone.
Inestimable, venerable Rob Davis, the illustrator of Twilight Grimm and many, many, many books, and we did an overview of him several months ago. Or not several months ago, a few weeks back anyway.
Well, yeah, maybe a month or two.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed that chat immensely. So if you guys have not checked that out.
I have an ego, I enjoyed it too.
So you can go see where he came from, and he's working on a marvelous book right now.
Yeah. I am.
And that's a private publication or a self-published work, I believe.
Well, at least so far, yeah.
So far, yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah. And tonight we are going to be talking about Silverline books. So yeah,
Yep.
we got books and books and books and more books.
Yeah, we got.
So
Yeah,
no,
we got all kinds of things here. Yeah.
so now,
So
yeah. All right, let's. But what do you got there, Rob?
I've got the obsoletes.
The obsoletes.
Yeah,
And this,
I did a cover.
yeah.
I did a cover of it, and I have copies here. I got when I was down in Florida for Daytona Comic Con, I had it signed, as you can see.
Yeah.
So,
Is that one of those shiny covers?
No, these are just
No.
they're just
Okay.
plain straight ahead covers.
It's just the Magnum boarded.
Mine didn't get foiled. Someone else had
Oh, okay.
foiled again. You know, I don't know which cover got foiled. Foiled again. Yes.
Now, Rob, fill me in because I'm kind of working on the edges of Silverline. Like,
Okay.
And so,
so
you might know.
I am too, but
Right. But you might have some more details than I do. Have all the books that Silverline have put out, have they all been Kickstarter projects?
Everything, with this version of Silverline, yes, everything's kickstarted. At least
all
for
right.
now.
Right. So general audience out there, just so you know, every single book that has been put out by Silverline in the last couple of years has been a Kickstarter project, and each one has been fulfilled, and each one has been a successful Kickstarter project.
Yeah, they don't even throw them up on Kickstarter until everything's in.
Right.
Each issue, it's finished, ready to go when the Kickstarter starts. There might be a few coloring things to do yet on maybe a cover, like a B or a C cover. But for the most part, they're done and ready to go. And it's just a matter of kickstarting them, getting the money in, and then having them printed. And so these are, and they don't print a lot of them. So, collectability depends on scarcity. Folks, these are scarce. So
that's right. So, and I believe,
and their quality. So.
Yeah, and do we have a Kickstarter that's still in progress right now, or
no, I don't think
did it wrap up?
The Kickstarter right now. The last one wrapped up. I think we're off for the holidays for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then we come back, and I think we're even skipping January,
right?
Because of something that's happening with distribution of the books. You have visitors back there.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So are we allowed?
February is when the next Kickstarter is.
So are we allowed to talk about that distribution stuff, or
I'm not sure. I would think we could, but
let's just we'll hint at it and say, well, you know what?
Yeah.
If you want your books in your comic book shop, ask.
Yeah, starting next month.
Yeah,
I believe it is. Yes.
All right.
Or go and check with your local comic book retailer. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So we've got a wide variety of books. We've got hero books. We've got action adventure books.
Science fiction. Yeah.
Science fiction. We even have a couple of children's books.
Yes. I forgot about those, but yes, we have those too.
Yeah. And so and then we got some historical based books. We got kind of everything here. So where do you want to start there, Rob? Is there any
Where
particular
do I want to start? You're the host, man.
I'm the host. Okay, well, all right.
I mean, I can start with mine.
Okay, Twilight Grim. There's a wonderful book to start with. Awesome. Okay.
I have all four of them here. Where's the other one? There it is.
Let me see if
I have all four of them here. Yeah. And these are
Twilight Grim.
These are the A covers from the Kickstarter. So.
Oh, sorry. Show those again. I missed that. Sorry.
So there's Twilight.
Oh, there's the A cover. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Those are the A covers.
All right.
And this is Twilight Grim himself as a younger person And
Okay.
as you can see, he was not very nice to the vampires.
Yeah.
And then here's a similar scene later, and then the one of the climactic scenes from inside the book on the cover there. So yeah, that's written by R.A. Jones, an old pal of mine from back in the day. Yeah, there's the A cover. And when he and Roland got together, talking about maybe doing a book, R.A. pitched about 4 different ideas, and Roland says, "Well, who would you like to get to draw it?" Well, we were old pals. We were on a book back in the day, back in the 90s, called Scimitar, and we had a lot of fun on that book. And he says, "Well, I'd kind of like to work with Rob Davis again." So they sent me the 4 pitches, and I picked this one because it had vampires in it. And I thought vampires are kind of hot right now, so let's do a vampire story. Now it's a little different vampire story, but it deals with all the tropes. They can't come out in the daytime, and you kill them with a stake and with sunshine and all that stuff. So,
all right,
and there's Kayles. You brought up.
Hang on, yeah. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna talk about that book. We're gonna talk about that book a fair bit because I'm just gonna close off a bunch of stuff because.
Okay, you had a lot of windows open. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just okay.
That'll slow everything down. Nothing will load.
All right, here we go. All right, so here we got this awesome.
Yeah, but that's the opening scene where a young lady has been caught stealing something, and what it is this city that this takes place in has a wall that runs down the middle of it, and on one side all the vampires live, and on all the other side the ordinary folks live. So, and of course the vampire area is kind of like a ghetto, and so when somebody, there's the good side on the left, and there's the deteriorated ghetto-ish side on the right. And when someone violates the law, if it's bad, if they're repeat offenders, they're tossed over into the ghetto, and of course the vampires take care of them pretty quick. And that's the opening of the story. That's where it all starts. Yes, she gets hypnotized by the vampire, and then Twilight Grim comes along.
Kaboom! There we go.
Yeah, and that's
all right.
That's the opening sequence.
Now, are you allowed to talk about the 4 other pitches that they? Or are those?
Well, I don't remember what they are.
Okay.
One of them was a dystopian future. The only one I can remember, which was kind of interesting too, is a dystopian future where these folks are trying. They've heard this rumor. It's kind of like Battlestar Galactica looking for the 13th tribe. They're looking for this fabled area that is not in dystopia. It's actually utopia on this dystopian world. So they're looking for it, and that was kind of an intriguing idea as well.
Yeah. So this Twilight Grim, I'm gonna say something, and hopefully it doesn't go over like a lead balloon, but it's very cinematic, or at least I feel it is. It has so it kind of feels very kind of. It could be like TV or movie kind of pacing, and it's very well done. So
thank you.
Yeah. So this is Rob's baby, along with R.A. Jones. They put this book together. It's a lot of fun. There's so vampires. There's fighting. There's romance, and then there's romance, and then there's romance. Well, or anyways, people falling in love with our main character, and it's an interesting subplot.
There's a love triangle definitely involved. Yes.
Love quadrangle.
Yeah, it's
I think it's 3.
And a guy. Yeah, is it 3?
Yeah, there's the vampire girl, then there's the girl who got thrown into the vampire world, and there's the vampire herself.
Yeah, I don't consider her as much the one at the very beginning. she's a very young girl who has a crush on him. So
Right.
yeah, it is a quadrangle then if you look at it that way. Yeah.
So
Yes.
So that subplot is floating around there. Now,
Mhm.
speaking of vampires in the Silverline world, there was a one shot here, Bloodline. Is it coming up? No, it's not coming up. Of course not.
It'll
Why?
take a second, maybe. Is it loading? This is one I'm not familiar with, I don't think.
Oh, you're not familiar with it? Okay. So let's see.
Bloodline? I may have seen the cover, but that may be about it. So
Okay, so let's see if we can get this up. There we go.
okay,
Bloodline.
no, I have not.
All
I have
right.
not seen that one. I think I may have a copy of it, but I haven't looked through it.
Yeah. So this
okay.
is this was an interesting read.
Okay.
The art grabbed me right from the get go, and I loved it. And I thought, like, interesting. I'd never heard of this artist before or this art team, and but the style is very kind of angular and.
Oh yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of Matt Wagner, I believe.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that in there. It looks like maybe a little. Yeah, there's a little Phil Hester.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, I could see that.
Mike Mignola. Yeah, there's a little bit of all of that.
So this was a very intriguing tale. I have no idea about the where it came from, why it exists, how it exists, why it's here, and it's a one and done tale, and it's
Terry Pallett. Terry Pallett inked this. Okay.
Yeah. So we got pencil by Rob Sacchetto, Tony Pallett is inks, colors by Jeremy Kahn, and lettered by Brian Dale, I believe. Mm-hmm. My eyes are going a little bit bad here.
This looks like maybe an older book that was done in black and white that's now been colored. Because Silverline's done a number of those kind of books. This looks like one of those.
But even still, this kind of still has a modern, has a modern edge to it, and it's a one and done tale. And I'm not sure why we're not getting the rest of the images, but yeah, it was a very intriguing read. So there's something. It's something to do with the train line, and it happens to carry a bunch of vampires, and hopefully it's not giving away too much. But yeah, it's action, and it's these three individuals end up teaming up to fight a bunch of vampires. And so yeah, it's a very intriguing looking book.
The theme so far tonight is vampires. Okay.
Vampires, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, but so if anyone's interested, try and find this book, because this was a fun read. It was very interesting, and you won't be disappointed. So yeah, very interesting.
I take your word for it.
Yeah,
everything I've seen from Silverline so far has been very good. So
yeah,
it's hard to, and I'm not just saying that. I mean
that.
And what I like about Silverline's books is that it's the straight ahead storytelling again, and rather than depending so much on pretty pictures to carry you through. There's actually a story to it, and it's told well and visually well as well. So
yeah. So while we remain on the kind of fantasy realm, I guess.
Okay, there you go.
We got Cray. So if you're into let's say Krull the Conqueror, or into Savage Sword of Conan,
Conan.
This is gonna be kind of up your alley. This is that kind of book, and this was illustrated by Steve Butler. Written by Roland Mann, and inks by Ken Branch, colors by Jeremy Kahn. And this is actually a fun romp. It's a very active tale. There's lots of stuff happening, and if you're into detail and that kind of thing, there's a lot of stuff going on in these pictures that you can.
Well, Butler.
Yep.
So, again, I think this is another one of those reworked previous stories, but it came back and colored it, relettered in some cases. It kind of touched up, and then colored because it was originally black and white. So yeah, okay.
So yeah, so
I haven't actually looked through the first issue. I kind of paged through the second one because I did a cover for the Kickstarter on it. I did that B or C cover. I forget which one for this. And it was an idea that Roland had for the cover, and I rendered it for him. In fact, yes, right here. Here's the pencils.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Let me just switch up the screen here. We got to switch the screen. I'm going to remove this, and we're going to put you up. Let's see. How do we do that? No, wrong one. How do we get you up? There we go. Look at that.
Yeah. That was Roland's idea, and he had pitched it to me in Daytona when I was down there. And I came home and rendered it out, and it's been inked up by. And I'm sorry, I don't remember who inked it, but it's a new young talent just out of the Kubert School, and she added some details that I didn't plan in there, but it looks great. I think she's going to go places. She's a good inker, so I'm hoping she can get some work in the biz.
Awesome. All right. So yeah. So look, I finally got some images here. So yeah. Okay. So the story is about a young man who ends up. So there's lots of stuff going on these pages. So it's well worth the read. So there's a young man who ends up being raided by ogres. I guess they're ogres. I'm not sure.
Ogres or orc.
Some sort of.
Yeah.
Orcs, that was the word I was looking for. And he happens to be picked up as a child, and then he gets raised by orcs. So it's got a little bit of a twist. So it's a human raised by orcs. And
so it's kind of a Tarzan-like. Yeah, it's got a little bit of the Tarzan thing in it. Raised by by another race of creatures. Yes.
So yeah. So, and we have
I believe this is now. That's Roland's thing. Yeah, he wrote this story.
Yeah. So now is the I believe this is at issue 2 now, if not issue 3. I'm not 100% sure.
We just kickstarted 2. I think that was just in this last Kickstarter. So 2 is out. 2 is out there now. I think 3 is in the works. I have no idea what's on our next Kickstarter. I don't know that Roland knows yet. There's a number of things in the pipeline.
So yeah, this book was a lot of fun. So give it a look if you ever have a chance. All right. So what else do we want to look at?
What do you got there, man? You got a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
I've got okay. All right, let's talk about this book. This book is knocking it out of the park. And
yeah, I suspect I know which one you're talking about.
Why? Okay.
Yeah.
It seems that my computer doesn't want to comply.
Yeah, your processor is fighting you. Yes.
So let's see. Let's see if I can launch this. There we go. Okay, so all right. And if I can launch the second one. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce to you one of my favorite books in the Silverline universe. And that book is called Kalis.
Mm-hmm.
And this book... Oh, do I have to share again? Present. Oh, don't do this to me, please. Stop screen. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry for the technical difficulties. Why won't it show me? Stop screen. Oh boy. Present. Share screen. There we go. All right. Kalis, here we are. Allow. All right. Is that up and running there, Rob?
Not up yet.
Oh, no, I have to. There we go.
There we go. Yes.
All right.
This
Let's
is
put our
actually,
faces on there.
this is actually a second miniseries. There was a Kalis before this, and this is Kalis Achilles Has Landed, which is a
Yes,
continuation of the first series. So
this is the first series.
This is a Brent Larson story, and
Brent, and his art team is top notch. So you have this man falling from space, and he ends up landing on Earth.
Yeah, he's invulnerable.
And he,
yeah.
So and this story. All right. If you're a dad and you like sci-fi, this book is going to be right up your alley. It's got depth. It's got lots of backstory, but it's not overbearing. But there's a depth to this book that is absolutely amazing. And it's got great action sequences, a compelling idea, and Rob, if I was to suggest that this is kind of Silverline's take on Superman, would that be an accurate?
Yeah, well, I think the only superpower he has is that he's invulnerable. So he's not exactly Superman, but that's Brent. I haven't read. This is another one I haven't read. I don't read that many comics anymore. I have a stack this high of comics, and some of those are Silverline books. But from what I understand about this character, he did not start out in his life invulnerable. He acquired his invulnerability through some accident or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah,
right.
And now he's trying to live his life by being invulnerable, and it kind of goes through. Of course, there's all the political and military intrigue around him because he's invulnerable, of course, and but that's not. I don't think that's quite Superman. That's I'm trying to think of what a good analog would be. I mean, there's some of the Superman to him because he's not an alien, but he's got this he's invulnerable. He can't be harmed. So he's more or less immortal.
So so kind of like Superman.
Yeah, well, in that respect, yeah. Superman can fly. He can't fly. He has X-ray vision. He has all this other stuff, and he's an alien.
Right.
So
Well, okay. So all right. So, but how
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I'll reframe it. It's kind of like the Silverline take on Superman, but it's not. It's not. It is and it isn't. But so this guy ends up landing on Earth. He doesn't know what's going on. He's kind of like you don't know what's going on when it starts. And it's just like it's pretty. It's great.
It's a suspense thriller. It's a suspense thriller. With superhero trappings.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So the pacing is fantastic.
It's not as important as the intrigue and suspense and thriller aspects.
Correct.
So,
but this would be kind of like if Superman were more gritty and down to earth and real, like if Superman was real, like.
Yeah, if a humanoid had invulnerability, he could not be harmed. Yeah, because falling from space, you're gonna heat up, and if you're gonna burn up if you're a regular human being. This guy doesn't burn up.
Yeah.
He's invulnerable, so he goes through the atmosphere. He gets hot as a fireball and falls to the earth. Gets up and walks away. So that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. So in the fourth issue,
how do you deal with that mentally? I think that's part of what this story is about. Yeah.
Am I allowed to show? am I allowed to show this? I don't know. Like, so in the fourth issue, he literally gets blown up. Hopefully that doesn't give away anything, but and he survives. But you have to read to find out why that happens.
Actually,
yeah.
This feels more like Captain Atom or Dr. Solar in that respect.
Sure.
If you know those two characters, they were very similar in some aspects. But yeah, they because of an accident they gained superpowers and became pretty much invulnerable. This guy doesn't have other powers that we know of so far. He's just invulnerable.
Oh, look!
There's a Rob Davis cover.
My goodness, and I did an inked version of that as well, but not this one. This is by Rios, but I inked it for fun. Rob gave it the approval. He said I did okay.
Yep.
So,
very good.
Yeah. So this Kalis is fantastic art, fantastic storytelling, excellent pacing. If you want to take it as a, is that Brett? Is that Brett drawn in as the main character?
It looks like him, doesn't it?
Kind of looks like him, but yeah. So if you want to take it as kind of like a variation on Superman, I think you could justifiably say that that's the case. I could be wrong. But that's how it feels to me. But because of all these trappings around the story, it is much more intriguing and much more real. So I absolutely love this book. This book is great. If you're a dad and you have been missing good comics, this is good comics. It's absolutely stunning. So there's the first 4-issue miniseries, and then there's the follow-up, which is now at issue, which is the second issue. Yep. Achilles has landed, and yeah, there's nothing but good to say about this book for me. So, and that's me being a Silverline fanboy now. So I do apologize if I'm going off the deep end on it, but yeah, it's a great book.
I would tend to agree. I mean, I would see it more. I see it more as a take on something like Dr. Solar or Captain Atom. But yeah, I could see it as an analog for some of the aspects of Superman as well. So yeah, that's a valid interpretation.
All right. So now if this is our Silverline Superman, then we have a follow-up book here called Cape Town.
Yeah, another Brent Larson. Yeah.
And where are we going here? Where is it? Please be here. There it is. And are we seeing that? Is that on the screen?
Yep, it's up. It's up.
There we go. Cape Town, and this would be Silverline's Batman?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Again, I haven't read much of it, but it certainly has a lot of the same feel as Batman. It's a little grittier.
Now, I did not realize that Brett wrote this book as well. So that I will have to go back and read it again because I love his writing.
Yeah.
So, and this is another intriguing book. I wasn't sure I was able to wrap my head around it the first time around, so I'm going to go through it again. It's if you want a variation on the Batman, this could be your book for you. If you're kind of, done with the original, come on over and check this out.
Yeah, which has been done grim and gritty before.
Yeah,
and it's
So I don't.
It's that kind of book. Yeah, it's a non-superpowered superhero. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is grim and gritty, but it has an intriguing take, and it's again. So the one thing that Brent gives you, he gives you a lot to work with. So you don't feel like you just flip through a book and I'm done. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of if you sit down and read it, you get a lot of depth from the words, from all the stuff that's going on, the storytelling. There's lots of really good stuff going on. Excellent relationships that he builds. So yeah, take a look at that one. So this is so Silverline's got Batman, Silverline's got Superman, but they're not. Are we allowed to say that?
They're the analog. Yeah, they're the
I did
Silverline
not.
analog.
I didn't say anything. So yeah. So these are great. All right. Well, we're kind of going through a lot of our books very quickly and rapidly, but what else do we want to look at there, Rob? Do you have any suggestions?
Have we talked about Divinity at all yet? It's actually won some awards. Our co-host's book, Divinity, about a young lady who has a superpower.
Yeah, I have it here somewhere. Let me just pull that up. And I was going to go to Divinity next, so we're thinking on the same line here.
Okay.
Where?
Yeah, I'm sorry Barb's not here tonight, so she could really talk this up. Because she, of course, no one knows it better than she does, of course.
Oh,
but
good night.
As he tries to drag up the images, Divinity is a young lady whose parents have died, and she's discovered she has this ability to heal people, and she and her brother, who is an older brother who is in the military. They are the only family each of them has, so they get together, and then because she's discovered to have had this power, they're on the run from someone who's trying to kidnap her to use that power, and that's just one of the storylines for Divinity. But if you could pull up some images on that.
Yep, I'm gonna just do. I believe I need to do a stop screen.
Yeah, this is an idea Barb came up with, and she had some assistance from R.A. Jones in the scripting, but.
All right, let me just see. Okay, Wednesday Wham, entire screen. No, not that. How about that? Okay, there we go. Allow. And here, is it up now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Sorry. Yep.
Oh.
There we go. Now something's popping up. Ooh, an infinity.
We've gone into infinity and beyond. Okay. Is it up now?
There. Now we've got it. Divinity #1.
But is it still doing the infinity thing, or
no,
is it showing?
No, it's not. It's perfect. Looks great.
Okay, good. Okay, good. All right. Oh, well, so I want to do actually
some coding there.
So here we go. Yeah. All right. So
yeah, and that's Divinity in the foreground. Her brother on the right, to the right there, and I wish Barb were here so she could explain who that young lady is off to the left. She has joined them in their run across the country, trying to get away from these folks who are trying to kidnap Vinny, as she's called.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand her shirt. Does her shirt change from page to page, or?
No, that particular one is. Here's.
So this character Divinity.
That's a Chucky. That's a Chucky.
Yeah.
Interesting. A little Chucky shirt she's got in that one. No, she wears different T-shirts like any preteen would do.
Right. Okay. All right. I was wondering if there was like some sort of mystical thing with the shirt or something.
No, not that I know of.
So this book could be what, aimed anywhere from like 12 and up, kind of. Would you say?
Yeah. I would say there's a little bit of violence in it, so I don't know. Some younger kids might find that problematic, but it's usually there's guns and stuff like that.
But it's not over the top.
No, it isn't. I mean, right there's a punch, so there's a little bit of violence in it.
No.
So it's not necessarily a little kid's book, but it's definitely, junior high, high school, and up. So yeah,
yeah. So even if you're an adult, you're going to enjoy the book.
yeah,
It's
exactly. And I think
good.
some preteens would probably enjoy it too, although there's some intense stuff to it. I'm not sure
Yeah,
what exact audience Barb is aiming for, but it's in all ages. I think. I don't think there's
yeah.
anything in there that would overly scare young kids, but it does have some violence in it that can bother some kids.
Yeah, so this young girl discovers that she has some sort of healing power or something to that effect, and
Exactly.
then
Yep.
some people find out that she has that, and they want to get their hands on her.
Yep.
So yeah, but the art is super clean, very easy to read. It's an intriguing tale. Yeah, it's got action. It's got brother and sister
Yeah,
tensions.
there's tensions, yeah, because they aren't very close until this story, and then of course they're kind of thrown together into this, and then they're on the run.
Yep.
It's kind of the aspects of the fugitive, and I don't know if anybody remembers the old television show back in the '60s called the Immortal. That it's got some of that to it.
I don't know that show, but
yeah, it was
yeah.
about it. That's an old show about a guy who discovers that he's immortal, and he's being chased by a guy who wants to use the immortal's blood to make himself immortal. And so, and the immortal is looking for his brother, who is probably also an immortal. So it was a fugitive like show where he's on the run from this guy who's trying to get him and take his blood from him, and but he's also looking for his brother. So it's got some of those aspects to it as well.
Now Barb did the colors. She wrote the story with help with R.A. Jones, and then
correct.
She did the inks and colors. No, colors were done by Steve Madison. But yeah, I think she did the colors on the follow-up book.
Yeah, she's done some color on the book. Yeah, I think the first issue she didn't, and then I think they needed a colorist for the second one, and she thought, well, I'm going to give it a try, and she's done very well with it.
So yeah, and this has a different type of coloring feel to it. I'm not sure what to make of it.
This is a flashback sequence right here, so I don't know if that's got anything to do with the coloring or not.
No, I think the coloring in general is a little bit different than it's markers, maybe.
No,
maybe.
I don't know.
It's a very different. But I think it's a actual natural medium, or at least it feels like it.
I'm seeing almost a watercolor look to it.
Yeah. So this is a great book.
I mean, you can get brushes in Photoshop that do that sort of thing, but that looks like I think you may be right. It could be it's either watercolor or markers. Nice.
Yeah. So that gives it a very nice different touch.
Yeah.
So that's awesome book. So check that out if you ever get the chance. All right. Let's see. I'm going to do this, and let's jump out of here. All right.
Back to the infinity and beyond.
All right. So where do we want to go next? So that was Divinity.
All kinds of different directions to go. There's Trumps.
We have so many books. Okay, so
Beyond the Stars. I'm looking at the background down there. Down below. Obsolete. I'd say we might talk about Cat and Mouse since it is pretty much the
right. Okay, let's do Cat and Mouse then. All right. Cat and Mouse, which is our flag.
It's been around a long time. That's a book Roland was doing back in the 80s or 90s, and it's more or less our flagship book for Silverline, I would think.
Yes.
I mean, I see it that way. I don't know if anybody else does.
Yes. No, 100%. This is the flagship book, Cat and Mouse. So we've got the story of is his name Brett, the main character? I can't remember. And we got Mouse. So and she gets caught up in a trafficking ring, and her sister's brother-in-law or her sister's ex-fiance has to come and rescue her, and that happens to be Cat. So he has to come down, and is this the fourth issue or the first issue of the next series?
I don't know. You don't have anything up yet.
No. This is issue 4. Oh, I don't have anything up, and I'm talking about the book. Oh boy, there we go. All right. I hope I'm not giving anything away, but this is a fun romp. I want to get to here because this is where here. I know I'm way because here we got some fantastic action stuff going on here. So you've got
this harkens back to the 80s and 90s independent comic books done in black and white that had they dealt with superhero ideas, but they were a little bit different viewpoint of that. It was a great time to be doing independent comics, especially this type of book where it was. I mean, there was Grimjack, there was Nexus, Badger, those kind of books that had a different take on the whole superhero genre. And these are costumed heroes. They're not necessarily superpowered. But we've got this one character, the Demon, who is kind of a mutant of sorts. He looks he's been mutated in some fashion, and so it's just kind of a different take. It's that 80s 90s take on independent comics that a lot of us really enjoyed, and I think if folks glom onto this, they'll enjoy it as well, because it's straight ahead storytelling.
Yep.
Well told stories.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, it's on the ground, real time of just kind of straightforward storytelling, and it all makes sense. So it's
yes.
In as much as you can in a comic book, but
there's always with anything that's where you're doing something with a fantasy in it, you have this willing suspension of disbelief. There's a certain point at which you can't pile too many wild things on top of it, or it'll fall apart. Fall apart like a big Jenga. But but if you take a couple of wild ideas about some fantasy element and put that into the real world and see what happens, I think is what's happening here.
Yeah. So this all takes place in Louisiana, in
New Orleans.
Yeah. Yep. So it's and so everything is plausible. So and it's a very fun romp. And this is the issue 4 of the first series, and I think they've started a second series.
They have, yes, yep.
So
it's in the works.
Keep your eye out for that. So, and if anyone wants to try and get the books now, many of these books are available on indieplanet.com. You can go and look up the Silverline books there. So this is Cat and Mouse. I know I'm giving away a lot. I'm sorry, Roland. I know you like hiding the stuff, but I'm just showing off the good.
Well,
awesome
you're scrolling through awfully quick, so you get some of the idea what's going on. But
we're showing it off because this is awesome work, and people need to see what can you get from Silverline. This is the kind of stuff you get.
Yep.
So yeah. All right. So Cat and Mouse, that's one of our flagship. That's our flagship title. And what else? What was the other book I was going to follow up with?
Trumps.
No,
Trumps.
Yeah. But that's going to be going back into more like the sci-fi stuff. But so I want to kind of bridge that gap with Teen Beetle here. Teen Beetle,
Okay.
which is again another hero, and so this is a takeoff on Blue Beetle, but this is Teen Beetle, and
Yeah, because the original Blue Beetle is actually in public domain. The original one is. Now the one that you
right.
see at DC is not in public domain. So
Right.
So I think
So-
this is kind of based loosely on that public domain character.
Yes. So it's based off the public domain character, and this book is fantastic for kids. It's I think you could probably hand this to a 8 to 10-year-old without any quibbles. Maybe the first issues has a little bit of a rough opening. So maybe 10 and up. But
Yeah, that sounds about right.
so the young boy here, he has his buddy, and they have some sort of I don't know what it is, some sort of a serum, which then transforms him into the Teen Beetle, and he goes off on his adventures, and they go and fight the baddies. So this is a fun book, another hero book in our line, and has I guess you could say it has a little. So it's got a little bit of the hero stuff going on, but it's got a little bit of the sci-fi stuff going on because it's got the serums and the different kind of like the bad guy who ends up being a scorpion of some kind. I think he's a scorpion.
So you're good. Yeah, there you go. So you got insectoid characters in this particular book. Okay.
And he flies giant flies and stuff like that. So
okay.
Yeah, so
that's definitely 10-year-old and up. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff kids, I hope kids like to read.
Yeah.
That kind of weird stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so and Del Barris stuff. And Del Barris has done a bunch of stuff that I know he's done for kids that back in the past, because I've read a bunch of those books that he's done. I don't remember what they're called off the top of my head, but they were interesting. So yeah. So if you are looking for a fun book for kids, Silverline's got that. So we've got Batman, Superman, we got Kalis, we've got Cape Town, we've got vampires, we've got heroes in Cat and Mouse, and we got heroes for kids, and we got Divinity, which is got some mystical stuff going on. And then if we want to go into some really interesting territory, we can talk about Trumps. So
yeah, which I mention it because a lot of people think this is it's a Roland Mann book, and it's one of his better ideas. It's about it's kind of a take on Throne of Swords. Yeah. That
Game of Thrones.
It's Game of Thrones. Thank you. My brain sometimes. So yes, Game of Thrones. It's that fantasy type world where, and it's, as I understand it, they're the 4 faction, which are, and you'll see it there in that one, the Trumps there at the top: hearts, clubs, diamonds, and spades. So each faction. And again, this is one I've skimmed this one and found it very fascinating. I have not been able to sit down and read this. Like I said, I don't read that many comics these days. But this one's intriguing. It really is.
Yeah. So
that's going to have to move close to the top of my pile.
I will recommend it. I have read the series, and it is a interesting read. Now, it is not about Donald Trump. It is not political.
No.
It is not about American politics, but it does have politics in it, in the sense that the different.
That's why I compare it to Game of Thrones, because
right.
Got some of those aspects to it. Yes.
So now, are you aware this is actually based off of a card game?
No, I did not know that.
Aha! There you go. So
All right.
Trumps is actually a card game, and so what Roland did is he took the card game and the rules of the card game and made it into the book. And so if you read the story and you understand how the game works, and you read the story, you'll understand what's going on. So you'll understand how the different characters why the different characters are interacting the way they are with each other, because you understand how the game works. So if you're a fan of the game of Trumps, this is a fantastic book for you. And if you don't know the game of Trumps, then you can.
Well, I play Hearts and Spades, which is
right.
Which is like that. Yeah.
So
I imagine this is a little different.
Yeah. So apparently you have the deck, and it apparently gets cleared off every so often. I can't remember if it's called the shuffle or whatever it is. It gets shuffled, and when it gets shuffled, everything gets rearranged. And so what's happening is these guys are trying to hold on to their power so they don't get shuffled. And then you got all these different pieces of the pie.
I like that concept. That's great.
Yeah. So it was starting with the idea of the card game. He launches into this, and it's a lot of fun. So you got dalliances, you've got intrigue, you got guys fighting with each other, and so you've got a king that doesn't work. You got and everyone's relying on the aces, and and the jokers are nuts. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty good. So it's got everything in it. And the really cool thing about it though is it's a 4-issue series, and you can read the entirety of it all in one go. So you get a great story, and the art is fantastic and consistent throughout. What's really interesting is he had different artists on the books, but he managed to find guys who were close enough to each other that you're not.
It's not jarring.
It's not jarring.
Change.
Yeah,
you've got probably Tommy Floramonte is the inker on this as well. And that's probably
Tommy Floramonte, who is our friend at Kablam. He did ink issues 1, 2, and 4.
Okay.
And who inked number 3? So Bedwell.
Okay.
Did Clinton illustrate and ink it? Let me just check here. Quentin, sorry, not Clinton. Quentin. So Quentin did the art in issue number 3. He did the pencils and the inks.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. Okay. So Quentin is fantastic. He pulled out all the stops. So excellent series. So by all means, do look it up. It's got excellent stuff going on. Now, we're kind of hitting the top of the hour here. Should we mention our fellow sometime joiner John Metick's book, Sniper and Rook?
Sure. Yeah,
all right.
I have not even scanned that particular book, so I can't speak to it at all. I've heard it talked about many times, but I have not seen the book itself.
Okay, I did have it. I don't know why I don't have it. Why don't I have it? Okay, all right. I do apologize.
Yeah, it's too bad John's not here tonight. He could definitely tell us all about this one, because again, it's in the stack to be read, but I have not. I have, like I said, I haven't even scanned this particular one.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, interestingly enough,
I'm as intrigued as everyone else.
I got a Sniper and Rook 1, but the PDF doesn't match the books, the printed book. So I don't know what the deal with that is. So
don't ask me.
Yeah. So let's see here. Hang on. I'm just going to remove that for a second. I'm going to see if I can find. Let's see if I can find the link. Cape Town Bloodline Bear. Okay, Bear, we're going to give an
Yes.
honorable mention to.
Yes, absolutely.
Hang on, Sniper and Rook. There we go. Sniper and Rook number 1. All right. Okay, so let's add that to stage. And oh no, it's going to stop screen. Share screen. Let us go see. No, again, I keep going. Okay.
This is live podcasting, folks.
Yes, we do apologize.
It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes.
Where? I thought I clicked on the link. Come on, Sniper and Rook. Sniper and Rook is a lot of fun.
Is it a PDF?
There we go.
It may take a while for it to load.
No, it's on the Dropbox here.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna. All right, add to stage. All right, and then we're going to. There. Is it showing?
Yeah, it popped up. Yes, I have seen that.
There we go. All right.
I know next to nothing about this book, which is it's probably a bad thing to say, but I don't know anything about this book. It's intriguing. It's an intriguing looking book.
Yeah, so it's a story about two special ops. One named Sniper, one named Rook, and they go on various covert operations around the world. And this is one of their tales. So this is Sniper and Rook number 1, but I've got a Sniper and Rook number 1, which doesn't look anything like this Sniper and Rook number 1. So I do not know what to tell you, folks.
That sounds like there must be more than one miniseries. So
yeah, so I have a black and white book here, and the one I have is their origin story, from what I can tell.
Oh, it's a black and white book? It may be the original, and this what we're seeing from Silverline is an updating of that. Without John here, I can't say that for sure, but that's what that sounds like. Is that you have the original, the original black and white book that this is an updating of.
Yep. All right. So that's another book you can look into if you're into covert ops. And
I would be remiss if I didn't mention my pal Ron Fortier's book, Beyond the Stars, which is a science fiction fantasy book that is I think they've done 3 issues of so far. It's going to be a 6-issue miniseries, and it's coming out from them as well. I mean, I see it here at the bottom of the screen underneath us there, Beyond the Stars. But it was pitched to Ron with like 3 or 4 pages of action, and then the artist says, "Can you build a story around this?" So Ron sat down and built this story, and that they've been doing that story based essentially on those 3 or 4 pages of action, and as Ron will do, he's built this depth in the world that it is beyond the stars. Science fiction fantasy.
Yeah.
Another one worth picking up.
Absolutely. And I would show it to you, but I do not have the PDF for some reason. Again, I do apologize.
Well, that's fine. It's out there. Take a look at it. It's got gorgeous artwork. This is I believe he's Argentinian, and he's I think he does everything. He does it. He does it all digitally. Pencils, inks, and colors it himself. I'm thinking Belcher is doing the lettering, if I remember right. That's the only aspect that the artist isn't doing.
All right, awesome. And now I get to mention myself. I colored this one. That's Wolf Hunter. And if you're into World War II, this is a World War II series. And these are the colors that I gladly provided. And I'm in the middle of working on issue 2, which is coming out soon. Or as soon as I can get some pages done. Oh, hello, Roland. Roland, you're joining us. Are you driving?
In his car.
No. Yeah, Brent and I tried to join you about 20 minutes ago, but couldn't get your attention.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I heard some beeps and stuff here. Yeah, okay. I'm so sorry. We're so caught up in ourselves.
I thought I would try one more time before getting on the road. So I am in my car, but I'm not driving.
Well, we wish you'd been early. We could talk a little more about. We talked about cat and mouse, and we talked about Trumps a little.
Sweet.
So we're talking about Silverline books.
Nice. And, well, Brent and I had a signing at Coliseum of Comics today. So So when that was over, we came over here and grabbed a bite to eat, and then we looked at our phones at about 8:45 and said, "Hey, let's crash the Wednesday Wham!" And then we couldn't get your attention. So
I'm so sorry.
In usual Brent fashion, he said, "Well, I'm out of here."
We could have had Brent.
What you should have done messaged me, and then I because it pops up on my iPad. Hey,
I will remember that next time.
Yeah, if I'm here,
sorry, I heard the beeps. I heard the, but I was just so trying to get to the next thing. So I am so sorry.
He's trying to do 3 things.
But we did talk up Kalis and we talked up Cape Town.
Nice.
Now, I theorized about Kalis. Is that potentially our version of Superman?
He has Superman-like powers, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Brent,
I likened him more to Captain Atom or Dr. Solar in the fact that he gets his power from an accident, and then but I mean, Dr. Solar and Captain Atom have more than just invulnerability, and Kalis has more or less just invulnerability, as far as we know.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, so we're still learning about a lot of it. So, Brent and I, we're talking about it because, one of the things we didn't set out to do, but one of the things that we've kind of started doing is trying to sort of build a Silverline, Silverline universe, and of course, when I started writing like Cat and Mouse and Silverline Team Up, that was just a natural for me, is that they all kind of coexisted in the world. But as the idea of Silverline grew a little bit and the titles grew, one of the things that kind of came up is, well, are they all in the same universe? And it's like, well, they weren't. It wasn't intended that way, certainly. And so we started talking, well, what could work? What will work? Like something like Wolf Hunter, which is an alternate, it's an alternate history. Well, I don't know that fits in. And I'm not saying that it doesn't or it does. Tim and I have talked about it a little bit, but it's one of these things that we don't want to shoehorn it in just because it has a Silverline label,
No. Yeah.
But Kalis could work. Divinity certainly works,
Yes, it works in the same universe as Cat and Mouse.
Yeah.
Twilight Grim could too.
Twilight Grim could absolutely work. The Hallowed Heights is a fictional city, but that doesn't mean we can't put it on the real map. It could be Hallowed Heights, Oklahoma. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
put it somewhere.
Yeah.
You've got Bloodhaven in DC, so yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as long as it's done organically and not forced, I think it'll work just great.
Right.
So, yeah. Now, unfortunately, the cover has been ripped off because my boys have read the book to death. But this one is definitely probably close to your heart, there, Roland.
Yeah. Actually, I sold a copy of Bear today. So, at the signing.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know about this book, this is a fantastic book. All right, and I'm going to give some insight to people here because because I think Roland might be a bit timid about, maybe, I don't know, maybe not, but a bit timid about his intent with that book. His book, his book for you parents out there who might be in the know, is an allegory, and it's a very, very, very profound one. And if you read it and understand it, it will penetrate you to your heart. And it is a exceptionally well done allegory, and very, very well done. I've only read the first issue, but I picked up on it right away, and it was like, okay. So if you're into Winnie the Pooh meets Lord of the Rings, I think
quite literally, right?
This is the book for you.
You were very kind, Martin. Thank you very much.
So it's a very heartwarming and heart touching story. It's very good. So did we get an issue 2 out on that one?
We're very
or is
close.
It still coming?
We're very.
Okay.
It's not out yet, but we're very close.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on me to follow up with Haley. I know she's waiting on me for. We're doing I won't give anything away, but we're doing on one of the pages. We're going to do some wonky, weird stuff with some of the text, and so Haley's waiting on me to get some of that to her. Yeah. So we're gonna play with it a little bit. I'll give you one little hint. How can I hint at this? You remember the ant and the aardvark? I know Rob does.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I know the story vaguely.
The aardvark has kind of a Joey Bishop type voice. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that pesky little ant. Yeah. I can't. You know what? I can't remember if it's in issue 2 or 3. We're gonna get a glimpse of the 2 of them. So that is that. Yep. That is.
Yeah, that's fun. That's the kind of stuff you do. You throw stuff in the background.
Yes.
For fun.
Yeah.
And if you guys want some more hero stuff, we got Miss Fury and Champion. So this is some action-oriented stuff.
Yeah.
That's actually part of the double book.
That's
on one
Peter
side.
Clinton's work, right?
Yeah, Peter Clinton.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's finished. He's finished issue 2. Tommy has finished inking issue 2. No, Tommy has not finished inking issue 2. Tommy is about 60% done inking, I think. He's done a little more than half. So, or did he finish it? Maybe he did finish it. I can't remember. I'd have to go back. I'm not at my computer, so I can't check. But
Yeah.
I know Pete finished his part of it, and I can't remember whether Tommy did or not. But so it's in Tommy and Roberta's hands.
There you go. Roberta's
All right.
coloring.
Yes, Roberta's doing the coloring.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're about to wrap up, but I'm going to throw in 2 more books before we close up shop.
Well, I was just crashing the party.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and this is great though, because we can actually pick your brain about these 2 books because I know nothing about them.
Well,
have you got time, Roland?
Yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say I've got an hour and a half drive ahead of me, so
we'll wrap up. We'll wrap up. We've gone over time, so we'll wrap up in about 5 minutes here. So I just want to look up. Okay, so obsoletes and rejects. Those are the 2 books we want to just pull up here. Okay, there.
I love that cover.
Yeah. All right. Present. Share screen. All right. Let's talk about obsoletes for a second here. I'm pulling up rejects first, but we'll switch right here. So obsoletes. What can you tell us about this? I'm assuming it's some sort of sci-fi tale.
It is. It's about obsoletes is about a bunch of space miners that got caught in some kind of Rumpelstiltskin thing. So they wake up like 20 years later, and technology has changed, and a whole bunch of new miners have popped in to take their places, and so they've got to prove that even though they're the old guys now, they're no longer or they are not obsolete. So they are called the obsoletes. Yeah, it is science fiction written by Wes Loker. Yeah, it's a fun story.
Yeah. And it's a very different illustration style by Aaron Humphries, I believe. Is that correct?
Yep. Aaron Humphries penciled the first 2 issues, inked by Jose Fuentes, and Jose will be finishing up the art for the last 2 issues. So.
Okay. So this is if you like monsters and guns and space travel and pithy commentary, this is the book for you. All right, and then Rejects. Now this book is I started reading it and I have to get back to it. There's been so much stuff on the plate, but this one is a lot of fun, and this one almost seems like a cartoon, if I would put it so mildly. And who's the target for this book, Roland? Would it be a younger audience, or is it?
Yeah. Well, so listen. My philosophy in writing stories has always been I'm a huge Bugs Bunny fan. All right, Bugs Bunny. You and I, unless you're just not cool, you and I can sit down and watch Bugs Bunny, and we can get an incredible joy out of watching Bugs Bunny. But so can my 12-year-old nephew or niece, right? And they're going to see, they're going to get a little bit of different thing out of it, right?
Yep.
This is a way that in my mind, I want to try to. I think this is the way Marvel and DC was in the 1970s. I think that you could, adults could read it and see something a little bit different. And you could still have the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old reading these comics, and they would get something different out of it, right? It was quote unquote safe for them to read, and yet
ages books.
Ages books. Yeah. I don't like using that because whenever you say, and it is, but whenever you say all ages, people immediately go, oh, well, it's a kid's book. Well.
No. Which is not what I mean by that at all.
Yeah.
By all ages, I mean that a young person will get. You're talking about the Bugs Bunny cartoons. You'll get that thing out of it, but there's also a depth to it that only adults will get. And the kids will read this book when they're young, and they'll go, "Oh, that's what this book was." And then they'll go older. 20 years later, they'll pick the book up and go, "Oh,
I never got that."
Too.
Yeah,
I didn't get that. So that's what I mean. That's what I mean by all ages books, and that's the way it should be. But
I agree.
Not everybody thinks about it that way.
So many people think of it differently. So, and so that's the only reason I don't use it is just because I think so many think of that. But yeah, it is absolutely all ages. I think. Well, I think. You could hand this to your 8-year-old niece or nephew, and they can read it and go, "Oh, cool! Look, these guys got really long sideburns that go out like Dr. Octopus," and and then you could look at the one-round kid and go, "That's Barney Fife."
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like I get that, right?
Yep.
But a 10-year-old's not going to have any idea who that is,
Yep. So it's a fun book. All the characters have a distinct look. They all have a very instant understanding of who the character is from their look, and they look a lot of fun. So this looks like a absolutely fun read.
And they each have a unique power too. So one of the things I wanted to do with the Rejects is take the idea that there are people who, there are heroes who don't get the Superman power, who don't get the cool Spider-Man power, right? The guy's got his sideburns grow long, right? And he can use them as appendages. Well, that's not really cool, is it? But how do you get rejected? The Fantastic Four is like, yeah, we don't want you. Your sideburns grow, right? The Avengers are like, yeah, that's not cool. What are you, Captain Sideburns? So what do they do? These are people that still want to contribute. They still want to be something, right? They still want to help. They still have good intentions, and but they're not quote unquote cool enough to be with the Avengers or the Justice League or something like that.
Yeah,
So
that's an early Silver Age type concept.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like one of the ongoing
Legion,
jokes.
Yeah, Legion of Misfit, Legion of
Right. Yeah.
Legion of Heroes had one like that too. I can't remember.
Yep.
Can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head, but yeah.
Yeah, and one of the concepts is that they don't have a superhero team name yet because all the good ones are taken, and the people keep calling them the rejects, but they're like, that's not who we are. That's not our name, right? But yeah. And the other thing, the other part is, it kind of becomes their name. You'll notice in the first scene of the first issue, they defeat a villain, but the superhero Majestic shows up and takes the credit for it. But he doesn't even throw a punch, right? So yeah, see there, they're fighting the bad guy, and then there's Majestic. Majestic shows up, and then he and you see the cameras show up, and then, oh look, Majestic just beat this big bad villain. And so the rejects are like, yeah, here we go again, right? So Majestic gets all the credit for defeating the villain, and he didn't even throw a punch. So
yeah, that's an interesting take on the superhero tropes. Yes, excellent. Sounds like fun.
All right.
One other thing, right? And it's the kind of thing that I like to do. So there's one of the characters in there is called See-Through Man. Okay. Because Invisible Man was copyright and trademark, and he couldn't take that, right? But his name is See-Through Man, so because he's an invisible guy, that's him right there. But he's a black guy, right? And so one of the things that you're going to see in the story is he is continually unseen, right? He's not just see-through. He's unseen, except for his buddy there, who is Snap-on Man, right? But you'll see, right? If you watch it, he is just unseen, right?
Okay.
And I hope my hope is that, and I'm not trying to cause controversy or anything like that, but my hope is just that it communicates something just a little bit deeper to a reader who's watching.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I got deep, didn't I?
Yeah. No. That's awesome. That's really cool. But these characters have so much.
Age book. Is that
it
works on a certain level for the kids and works on another level for the adults,
right?
That are paying attention. Yeah.
This page you're looking at right there. So I went round and round with my wife a little bit on this one, but I said you got to understand, you can't just take it on the name alone, right? So you'll see the guy playing the violin there, right?
Yeah.
His name is G String.
Mm-hmm.
Because he plays the fiddle, right? He plays the violin. And my wife heard the name and she goes, "You can't do that." I said, "Well, yes, I can, because you got to see him to understand what he is, right? That's G String." She's like, "I don't know about that."
That's hilarious. Thank you.
Well, as long as you don't think he's a thong, you're okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh.
This book has fantastic characters. It's so cool. All right, awesome. Well,
we've gone way too long.
Yes, we have.
Way over our time. But that's
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I didn't bring you in, Brett, in earlier. I would have loved to pick Brett's brain on Kalis, because Kalis
absolutely,
I have absolutely nothing but good stuff to say about that book. It is
excellent,
unbelievable. It is. Cat and Mouse is our flagship title, but I'm going to say Kalis is probably our strongest title.
Yeah, exactly. We can talk about what's happening with distribution, right?
Hold off 1 week for me.
We've hinted at
Okay.
it.
We hinted at it earlier, but yeah.
Okay.
But let's hold off 1 week.
Okay.
Because
okay.
I got a press release going out tomorrow.
I didn't think we could yet, but so I didn't want to jump the gun with it, but I did want to tease it a little bit.
Yeah,
so
tease.
Next week we'll have more information on that.
Yes,
folks, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
And do we have any Kickstarters in the works right now, or is the last one wrapped up?
Well, last one for 23 is wrapped up, so we're
I said that early on the show.
Yeah.
Can people still get in on that, or is it closed?
Oh no, it's closed. In fact,
okay.
I placed the printing order for it 2 days ago. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now if people do want to get their books, go to indieplanet.com.
Yeah. Well, so what I always encourage that's possible for a very, very, very limited window, because of the news. That you can't talk about just yet.
I hinted at that as well. Yes.
Yeah. So what I always encourage folks to do is if you've missed an issue and you really want it, there's a couple of ways you can get it. You can get it from the creator at a show, right? We're working on our website so that you'll be able to order it directly from us. Or the way that I actually prefer you do it is just support the next Kickstarter and order it as a back issue.
Yep.
That is absolutely the very best way to get back issues is support that Kickstarter and then just say, hey, look, I missed this.
It'd be cheaper on shipping too if I remember
absolutely.
Correctly.
Yes,
be much
absolutely.
Cheaper on shipping.
Much
if
cheaper.
You do it that way.
Yeah. And in fact, if you order 5 back issues, right? If you're like, oh man, I missed so many issues. If you order 5 back issues, you get a deal on them. We cut you a discount on them. So
there you go.
Yep,
there you go.
Absolutely. So.
Okay.
All right. Awesome.
So, but we'll have more information on that distribution deal.
Yes.
In the next week. Okay.
Yes.
So we can tease it that way.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. but what you can add is that it is big and exciting for Silverline in 24.
Yep, which is why I'm champing at the bit, trying to say something, because I think it is a big deal. It is a really big deal.
I think so too.
So stay tuned, folks.
That's right.
So Roland, would it be possible after the show somehow to get the we can still share the Indie Planet link, indieplanet.com/Silverline, so people can get books from there if they wanted to.
Yeah, but I would say they need to go ahead and act fast.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right. Okay.
Buy your Christmas presents early.
Yeah. So, well, if
like
you guys saw it,
all my Christmas presents are bought.
Oh, there you go. Wow. Dang, dude.
Yeah.
You didn't even wait till Black Friday, huh?
No.
Wow.
No, I get mine in early, and then my shipments come on time, and I can just leisurely wrap them up, and so And if I miss something, I've got time to find another gift.
That's actually so smart. Yeah.
So okay.
All right, guys. I'm gonna let you guys close off, but I'm gonna sign off here and get back on the road. And I'll say it before you guys have a chance. Yeah. Rob's gonna make mine Silverline, guys.
Make mine Silverline. All right, people. See you, everyone. Good to see you. All right. So we have looked at our books. We have many books, from vampires to people falling out of the sky
to trump cards,
to trumps, to divinity, to Cray. We have something for everybody, from kids all the way up to the adult. And we didn't even get through all the books. We still missed a whole bunch.
Lots of stuff in there.
So Silverline is here, and Silverline is here to stay. And if you are looking for something that's a little bit different, that's not part of the big two, and you want some consistency in your books, please join our clan and get in on the ground floor, because this could be an exciting time. We're a startup, and you can get in right at the start. And you can be a part of history in the world of comics.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's Rob Davis, the Venerable Rob Davis, the Empress of Inks. We missed her tonight. Hopefully she can join us again soon. And I'm Martin Mertonen. Make mine
Silverline.
Silverline.
My name is Ross Ritchie from Boom Studios, and make mine Silverline.